How's it going, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. Just a quick video, sort of an update, or not even an update, I guess. There's nothing really to update you on. If you watch my BC videos, you're up to date. This will be a Q&A video. I haven't done those in a while. And first and foremost, everybody just calm down. I will not be getting naked in this Q&A. I know it's a tragedy. We'll get through it together. On almost every video, I get at least one or two questions that I see, and I'm like, I should save that and do a Q&A video. And then usually I just respond. I haven't been doing that as much lately with work and making the vlog and everything else. I've been busier. It's just the way it is. So I figured I'd take the time now to put a video together and answer some of those questions. I also stopped at the mailbox and I got a couple packages here that I have to open. So we'll do it all at the same time. It's raining outside right now. We're looking down the barrel of like crazy rain for this entire week in Calgary, on par with the flooding rains that happened back in 2013. So that's what you're gonna probably be hearing. I'm also recording this on my old iPhone 10. So hopefully I can clean the audio up well enough. It's actually what I started the van vlogs with, so that's cool. The reason I'm using that phone is because I got the questions saved on this phone, and this is my actual phone and it's connected to the internet. I screen grabbed the questions. I guess I gotta transfer them to that phone. That sounds like far too much work. So simple enough. We will start off with this one from Joseph Macleod Travels. Joseph's an awesome supporter of the channel. Hi, Joseph. Joseph asks, hey Matthew, I have about 80% of the stuff bought to build a complete van to live in when I retire minus the van. He finds it very amusing because he's got a ROFL emoji. My question is, do you ever feel claustrophobic and miss sticks and bricks, and how long did it take you to adjust to van life? You make it seem so wonderful. Well, first of all, thank you, Joseph, for saying that I make it seem so wonderful. I think a lot of that has to do with my outlook on life. If you haven't been around the channel very long, I kind of recommend going back and watching my whole journey from the beginning and starting with vlog entry number 1, where I essentially named it. I didn't essentially name it, I named it Reboot Your Life. Gives you a little bit more insight as to what was going on with me and this kind of journey I set myself on. But in terms of your other questions, do I miss sticks and bricks? Not really. I've talked about it before on my live streams. I kind of miss the idea because I've got a daughter, but I've got an amazing cousin that has kind of stepped in and filled that void of a home for a kid. That being said, see, this can be a loaded question. I am happy that I'm going to be able to show my daughter an alternative lifestyle, especially with the current state of the world and where I believe we are going. The trajectory isn't great. I'm happy to hear that you're ready to do it. Hopefully your retirement is right around the corner and you can get to it quite quickly. And you also asked if I ever feel claustrophobic. No, I have never felt claustrophobic in my life. Really, I'm trying to think. I used to crawl through those little tunnels and the daycare, not daycare, it's more like day camps and whatnot, you get to, whatever. Getting off track. But no, I've always looked at my van as like a fort, right? I'm just a big man child at the end of the day, and I built myself a fort, and I am snug as a bug in a fort. Okay, this one comes from JP. It's probably gonna fill the entire screen when I share it here. Hi, I'm really enjoying your videos. Just curious, why did you choose a cargo van? And after being in it for a while now, would you rather be in a Class C type motorhome, or would you still choose the van if you could get both for the same price? Obviously, gas, stealthiness, and insurance is gonna be a lot better with a van, but the extra space and being able to stand up beside an RV would be a big plus. I might be getting into the van life, RV life in the near future, so just looking for some good information. Thanks. Awesome question, JP. And I appreciate you asking this on my channel, because this is a question that almost any van channel could get, and you chose to ask me. So that's cool. Why did I choose a cargo van? It's what I found at the time. There was a little bit of a time crunch for me to do it. I was also really chomping at the bit to just start building my future home because I knew I would be living in the van, and it was just the one that was available. I mean, nowadays, which we're like just over a year on from when I purchased Lucky, things are even worse with the used car market, and van prices have gone through the roof as well. So you kind of have to, if you find that diamond in the rough, just act on it. Unless it's an obvious rust bucket or beater or lemon. If it's just got a few issues, like Lucky had a laundry list of things wrong with her that I just fixed. And even some of those things I haven't addressed in over a year, and the van's still running. I just think people get hung up on that. But yeah, you didn't ask that. You just asked why I chose a cargo van. So, you also mentioned stuff about an RV and would it be better. And of course, you called out, yeah, gas would be an issue. Again, especially now, because gas prices, damn. But it would be nice to stand up 100%. There was a video not too long ago where I went to a outdoor show with my cousin, and they had a local company there that converts the high top Ford Transits, and I stepped into that and I fell in love immediately. So a high top is, I wanted to say definitely in my future. It's hopefully in my future, because that is awesome. But even that being said, if there was no chance of me ever getting a high top, yeah, I would choose a cargo van again, for sure. I would actually choose a brand new Chevy Express, probably, just because I have a couple friends that have the Ford E-Series, which they don't make anymore. But those roofs, they seem shorter, even after, like I've got a lot of insulation on my roof, and I've been in a Ford that doesn't have a lot of insulation on the roof, and it was still much lower. So I don't know. Anyways, yes, if I had to, I would absolutely choose a cargo van again. Is that all you asked? It was a long comment, but I appreciate it. All right, let's open up one of these packages and see what we got. Oh! Oh no. Ooh! This is off my wish list. That will come in handy. Who sent this? Let's see the, oh, it smells so nice now. Who's this from? That's just the receipt. There's the from ticket. Ah! Where's this one from? From Charissa. Oh, Charissa. Oh, that's awesome. Enjoy your gift. Have 3 kitties. I have 3 kitties. They are all long-haired. These things are amazing. From Charissa. She got me the pet hair lint guard. Oh, and I cannot hold on to it. Bounce sheets. That's a good count of those. That's awesome. I also might owe my cousin a few lint sheets. So thank you very much, Charissa. That's wicked. Yeah, Penny and Stella's hair gets everywhere. So those sorts of things are awesome. Gus Paz asks, what kind of job are you working? Gus clearly didn't watch my perfect job for a nomad or whatever the heck I called it. And that's okay, I'm not judging you. But also go watch that video, because I gotta plug myself. Not like that! Well, essentially I'm working as a mechanic right now. I started at this company called Range Mobility here in Calgary, and it was installing like aftermarket lights and sirens in emergency service vehicles. That's the primary focus of the business. And not long after I got hired, they hired on, and like, I don't know, I don't pay attention. He's a big old mechanic. He's been doing it his entire life. And that's more up my alley. I kind of threw my hat into the ring for that, and I'm apprenticing under him, which is awesome. And that's coming in handy even with my van life stuff. Okay, stumble over your words much. Sorry, the rain's very distracting, but also kind of peaceful. So I started doing the electronics install, which helped immediately. I was able to clean up my wiring in Lucky just after a month or 2 of being there and learning a few things. And now working on the mechanic side of things, that has helped. I already knew a lot about mechanics, but it's also teaching me a ton. And then even the benefit of working at the shop has been great. I was able to hoist Lucky up into the air today and do an oil change there, which was way easier than doing it on my back because I am getting old. Another package. Oh, let's see what we got. Whoa, don't stab the contents of the box. Did you stab the contents of the box? No. What is this? Ooh. What in the what? Let me see. That's cute, leopard girl. I'm gonna keep that to myself, and then everybody can be left in suspense. But thank you so much. And now I see what you meant when you told me what you told me. Everybody's gonna be like, that's not fair. And don't worry, it's not inappropriate. But let's do another question. Oh, this will be a quick one. We'll do a couple here back to back. Robert Phillips says, I love the red vines. I'm a big candy fiend, if you don't know. I might have a drawer dedicated to candy and Lucky. Shush! And I really like red vines. Being in Canada, red vines aren't as readily available. You can get them for sure, but I've had a bunch of my American viewers send me red vines, and I appreciate that. That being said, I'm out. So anyway, he said, but have you had the grape vines? And actually, yes, I have. I didn't know that those were even a thing until one of my subscribers, Desiree, sent me like 3 packages of them. Yeah, they went fast. They were delicious. Which is interesting because I don't usually like a grape flavored candy. Those red vines were great. They kind of tasted like grape bubblicious from back when I was a kid. Robert also asked about my floor in the same question. He's been watching my flooring videos and I'm wondering how it has worked out. Did it work well with the cold winter? So the floors are still intact. They worked very well. That was something I had experience with. I had refloored my entire old apartment due to a naughty feline. So I got a lot of experience there. So when I installed the laminate in Lucky, that's all it is laminate. That was fun because I was able to apply something right away and I knew what I was doing. It's a kind of a two-folded question here. If you're asking how the flooring held up, it held up great. Nothing is rising or bucking or buckling or bumping or whatever other B word you might want to use. You could just be using a weird, different word that I don't know. I didn't insulate my floor, which I've talked about in previous videos, and that is a regret of mine. Not like a huge regret, but a little one, and I ended up getting the foam pads for my floor from Walmart, just those like interlocking puzzle piece sort of looking ones, and that helped immensely with the heat when it was really darn cold. Thanks again for the suggestion, Aaron. Justin Lucero, hopefully I said your last name right, sir. You seem fairly new to the channel. You've been going back and commenting on a lot of older videos, as well as keeping up with the more recent ones. And I would just like to say thank you, Justin, and welcome to the channel. You asked, Matt, is your van four-wheel drive? I wonder. I like the Chevy Express Extended Van. I like the Chevy Express Extended Van too, Justin, but let me tell you, Lucky is not 4x4. It's a 2007, and I could be wrong, but I'm pretty sure in the 2007 year and anything prior, Chevrolet wasn't offering the from factory StabiliTrak option that just like came with the, well, it's a 4x4, but it's all-wheel drive. It senses, I think. I don't think you can switch it. I could be wrong about that too. Clearly don't know much about the vans that come with the 4x4. But I also know that the Quigley 4x4 conversion is a big thing for a lot of people that have the Chevy Express. I don't know that I will ever do that with Lucky for the same reason as lots of people. I don't know that I would be off-roading my home. If I ever stopped living in a van and just kept it as like a weekend warrior thing, then maybe. But anyways, to answer your question, no, Lucky's not 4x4. Hector Martinez on today's video, which, well, it was not today by the time this Q&A comes out, because I'm going to take a little time to edit this one and just relax after those epic British Columbia videos. But Hector asks, if I'm not mistaken, you only use your iPhone to film, right? How do you get your audio to sound so clear? Another amazing video. This will actually be kind of funny because if the audio in this isn't as clear as it has been, he's going to be like, what the heck? But again, older iPhone. So I am currently using the iPhone 13 Pro Max. I had to upgrade after I smashed the bejeebus out of my 11 Pro Max. I still need to get that screen fixed because it'd be a great backup camera to have. But I just use the onboard speaker, and then I use some compression tools in Premiere Pro before I export it. I think it's just like dynamics processing and then something about boosting the vocals. Like that's it, it's just two filters and that's all I do. I don't know what else to say. I do have a, where is it? Separate Rode microphone that I've used so far in one vlog. I believe it was my Haunted Lake vlog with Get Her Better, which I highly recommend. I love the way that vlog turned out. Unless of course, you get a headache when you watch black and white, then you might not be able to handle it. Nerd! Anyway, but yeah, I have this and it worked really well in that vlog. There are a couple shots where I was just a complete moron and I didn't have it completely plugged into the bottom of the iPhone and ended up getting some crackly audio. I removed that from the final cut. But this thing seems to be working really well as well. Unfortunately, like most things in my life, I've lost the dongle attachment that turns this into the attachment, like the adapter that makes this able to plug into the bottom of the iPhone. So I just need to get one of those, then we'll be back in business. Let's open up this last package and see what we got. Ah, what is this? Uh-oh. Ooh. Keep your gift a surprise. Unwrap your present before opening this envelope. Look, there's even a card attached to it. We'll pull it out and show the camera, Matthew. Hey, that's fancy. What is this? I've never gotten one like this before. Another one, Charissa, apparently this is just the Charissa episode. Well, and Leopard Girl, but that's about me. Enjoy your gift. Hope this helps. From Charissa. What's the matter with me? What do you mean, hope it helps? What am I doing with my life? Come on, man. Is it? It's wrapped again. Oh, I can see it. It's not wrapped. I mean, it's just very see-through tissue paper. That is so cool. Oh, thank you, Charissa. This was something off my Amazon wish list. So it's 12 volt or USB powered 12 volt, air purifier. Because Lucky, I mean, I live with two cats. There's dander. I've been complaining a lot about a stuffed up nose. I've been doing my best to rectify that with sinus medication and those nasal rinses. Not great. And a lot of people were recommending that I get an air purifier. So I went on Amazon and I looked up like the best reviewed one. And this is why, I don't know, it's one of those, they're all very well reviewed. Thank you, Charissa. I'm super excited to hook this up like tonight and see how it does. That's awesome. I hope, just heal my nose. That didn't work, but I'm probably doing it wrong. Darlene Perry asks, did your cats have a hard time adjusting to riding in a vehicle? So in case you're just joining us, I do have two cats. They are both being extremely lazy in the front seat right now, Stella and Penny. And the question being, did they have a hard time adjusting? No, and I was super surprised. Stella actually came around on it quite well. I brought her into the van with me first on a trip to BC. She was nervous, you could tell. She was hiding like under the blankets and stuff in the bed. But that trip to BC was like a weekend or maybe 4 days, something like that. And by the time we got back to the city, she was pretty much acclimatized to it. And then Penny, who I was more nervous about and I thought would never adapt, because there was actually a plan for Penny to go and live with my parents after they moved. It's a whole thing, we won't get into it right now. Needless to say, Penny's still with us, and that's because, yeah, she adapted just as quickly. I think maybe a week she would just hide everywhere. Like again, her first trip in the van was a long road trip to BC, and she had in her cat carrier the whole time. But I don't even have the cat carriers in Lucky anymore. And that was, we're coming up on a year. I guess that would have been October that actually happened. But yeah, after about a week, she was fine. I mean, she just wants out all the time, but that's the way she was in Sticks and Bricks as well. So she definitely knows that this is her home. And I have let her out at times and just gauged it. And when she gets a bad sense, she's jumped back into the van, which I think is super cool. So now there's a comment and a question. There's two of them. Debbie F asks, well, first she says, I have a fear of bridges over water. That wooden one had me quite anxious. She's referring to one of the videos from the BC videos that just came out. One of the videos from the BC video. Sure. Then she says, do you ever run into problems while driving with alcohol in the van? And then Glenna Russell also kind of followed that up. I also been wondering about the whole alcohol in the van and camping, drinking alcohol, and then needing to drive away in an unforeseen incident. Can you shed any light on the subject? No, I've never run into any problems with drinking alcohol. I don't drink while I'm driving because that's illegal. I usually keep the alcohol a fair distance away from me or completely under wraps. Like those are just the typical laws or whatever. But I've never had the knock. I've never had to explain myself to anybody for why I'm having a drink in my home. I've always just kind of told myself, if that ever happens, hopefully I'm fortunate enough to have a level-headed officer, because it's the only person I'm going to be explaining this to, that understands that I'm probably not going anywhere for that evening. You know, I live in my house, I'm here, I'm staying till the morning, and it's like anything else. Regards to Glenna's comment about while we're camping and something happening, I mean, that has nothing to do with living in the van. That could just happen at any time, right? If Sadie and Lindsay and I are out in the bush, if something happens, I don't know, we would just go. But that's just like, you can't really live your life in that sort of fear, like something bad might happen so I can't have fun. That might not have been what you're getting at. It's just kind of how I read it. But for the most part, we're usually pretty responsible when it comes to that, but you got to let loose sometimes. And when we go camping, that's when we tend to let a little loose. That also being said, Lindsay and I mostly drink beer, so nothing to really worry about there. Unless we're at Sandy McNabb, right, Lindsay? And the last question I brought up here from a little hippie, a little hood, asks, is there a free video editing app that you might recommend? I'm curious if there is a free one that you like. I've dabbled in it. I don't know that I don't really say I like it. I don't know if I spent that much time with it, but talking to other people and doing some research into that, DaVinci Resolve seems to be the one that kind of crops up the most, or it was when I was looking into it. I mentioned it before, I use Adobe Premiere Pro. I wish I used Final Cut Pro 10 or X or whatever. I don't have a MacBook right now, so Adobe Premiere it is. In terms of free, DaVinci Resolve seems to be your best bet. If anybody else has any other suggestions, let us know in the comments below, any sort of free software that you use. I know there are a couple people that I've talked to recently, like Chris, my buddy over at Destination Vanlife. I think he uses Premiere Elements. Getter Better uses, I think it's a mobile editing app. Let us know. And yeah, nothing else is really coming to mind. But for me, anytime anybody asks me for a free video editing software, DaVinci Resolve. I mean, it's gonna be pushing a bunch of stuff at you to like buy add-ons and stuff, I think. But it works on your desktop, so it seems like a winner to me. Now, I believe that was it. Except, oh no, there was one more. It's not so much a question as a moron. And I get this all the time, just not usually to this extent. And I actually had a very good interaction with somebody, maybe even on the same video that this one came from, where I just get called a Chrome clone. Hashtag Chrome clone. Yeah, buddy. I mean, it's all right, whatever. Everybody's got their own opinion and they're entitled to it. That conversation in particular, I just said, don't judge a book by its cover. Go back and maybe check out some of my videos. And apparently this person did, and immediately apologized and joined the channel. So there's something to be said for not judging a book by its cover. There's also something to be said for not being a complete idiot when you leave a comment. So here's the comment from Dave Allison. Wow, a cruise wannabe and a Nikki Delventhal wannabe. You gonna buy a Prius now? Maybe add a Bulldog? Some moron liked it. I bet he liked his own comment. Mr. Positivity. Moron. But I digress. I mean, it's fine. This was the video where I was like, what does a nomad do after work? And I was making a salad in a bag, and I chomped on a carrot, and I spat it into the bag, much like Nikki Delventhal does. I mean, you want to call me a wannabe, that's fine. I'm not as well endowed as Nikki. I look at it more as homage. But the bigger problem that I have with his comment, and why I think he's such a nutbar, is I'm a cruise wannabe. No, sir, you done messed up. If I was a cruise wannabe, I'd be trying to hump yours and everybody else's leg. Bye-bye.